There are 4 key factors that go into a successful storage environment. Those are temperature, humidity, airflow, and light. Of those, temperature, humidity, and airflow are the most important, but we will touch on light as well.
There are ideal numbers for what temperature and what humidity level you should try for, but you should look at those numbers as averages rather than an ironclad rule.
Fluctuations throughout the storage season are okay. Remember, we're mimicking nature here, and there's no growing zone anywhere on planet Earth where conditions stay exactly the same for 3 months at a time.
As far as temperature is the single most important factor affecting dormancy and waking cycles. Shoot for 40 degrees Fahrenheit on average to maintain dormancy throughout the season.
Swings from 33 to 50 degrees during cold or warm snaps are okay. Any lower and you risk frost damage. Any higher for prolonged periods and some of your tubers may start to wake up prematurely.
So humidity. Controlling the amount of moisture that surrounds the tubers is critical. As opposed to dahlia clumps overwintering naturally in the ground, tubers in artificial storage don't have roots capable of taking up moisture. That means they can't soak up extra humidity in their environment on their own, so you have to do it for them.
That being said, 90% humidity is ideal. Again, brief fluctuations are okay, but prolonged dryness or dampness can lead to loss. Too much moisture and tubers will rot and mold. Too little and tubers will shrivel and eventually die, although of the two, rot is more dangerous.
It's important to note that humidity also plays a role in the waking process. If a tuber is warm enough, but it senses it's still in an environment that's too dry to support new growth, it won't send out roots or sprouts.
Remember, a tuber is just a swollen root that's full of water, energy, nutrients, and a genetic blueprint like a seed. Somewhere, somehow, in that genetic blueprint, the plant knows it doesn't want to waste its resources giving an early start to a shoot that's going to wither and die in a dry spring. Don't ask me how that works. I'm not a botanist, but it is amazing.
Airflow. Airflow, or air circulation, matters for your storage environment because it affects both temperature and humidity. There's no one right or wrong amount of airflow since it depends on the needs of the moment. We'll discuss how this comes into play with various storage methods later.
Now what about light? Gardeners often ask about light in dahlia storage because they're used to some seeds from other plants that do require light to germinate. But light has no effect on the dahlia dormancy and wake cycle. Now this makes sense since dahlia tubers are not seeds. In nature, tubers are relatively deep below the soil, past the point of light penetration. They live in the dark.
Dahlia seeds, by the way, also do not require light to germinate, but that's another topic. Now, light doesn't affect dormancy or wakefulness for tubers, but it does affect any sprouts that grow during storage. The presence of light triggers sprouts to transition from hard, tight, white shoots to green, leafy, tender growth.
You don't need to worry about that right now. We'll talk more about that later. Ready?
Do I look like your sister in this?
Oh, do you look wet? I don't know. I think the laptop screen was in the shot for that.